Yo, what's up everybody? It's Sean from S&S Customs Limited. I have a great video for you today. I'm going to show you how I make one of my round oil tanks for our Sportster hardtail kit. I did a little video about the hardtail and fixturing and stuff the other day. The customer that ordered this kit opted for the battery tray, oil tank, and seat pan. So today I'm going to show you how we make that oil tank. If you like the content, like, subscribe, and remember to always keep the comments respectful. Cheers, and let's do this. All right, we're just getting set up on the table here. We're going to get ready to cut out one of our oil tanks that's been pre-programmed by yours truly. So we're gonna zero out our machine. 0, 0, 0. We're gonna cut this part out. We're gonna make sure we're at the correct voltage setting, 130, and we're gonna hit cycle start. Be with you in a second. Okay, so I'm back. So with a little bit of cutting on the CNC plasma table, we've got our profile for our oil tank cut out. We've got it cleaned up and we've got it all chamfered. We've got oil tank center. I'll show you how this fits into place in a minute. And we also have our oil tank sides. These are all plasma cut, and we're going to push this through the forming die that we made to make the dimple pattern on the side of the oil tank. So stay tuned. All right, we're getting ready to roll up our oil tank into a sphere, or sorry, into a tube. You want to make sure you have the right side down so that your roll is on the right side. So when you go to mount your oil tanks, your fittings are on the side of the bike it should be. So for us, we've already cleaned up the side we want showing. And this is the back side, so we're going to put it through the roller. And stay tuned, I'll show you how I do this. All right, so with a little bit of time on the slip roller, we have our round oil tank ready to be seam welded, and then we will hammer down the seam and put it through the slip roller one more time to get it as round as possible. Next, I'll do the side dies. So anyways, the slip roller is a really useful tool in the shop and gets used quite a bit, especially for oil tanks. We build this style, we build an oval oil tank, and we also build a horseshoe oil tank, and every one of them gets put on the slip roller. And that's a slip roller I bought from Busy Bee Tools quite a while ago, and a guy that was working for me at the time, Tyson, awesome fabricator, he's the guy that built the stand for me in the shop. So it's a very useful tool, gets used pretty much quite a bit in the run of a month, and I enjoy it. It's rated for 16 gauge, but we've rolled half-inch wire, we've rolled 14 gauge with no problems at all with it, and it's been a great tool and an asset to the shop ever since we bought it. I'm going to show you how I do the sides with the forming dies, so stay tuned. That's pretty cool. You're not going to want to miss that. All right, just a quick history on the forming die. I machined this die probably 2 years ago, and this is a forming die that will press 16 gauge steel into the shape that we make for the sides of our oil tanks, and then they get welded onto the part I just showed you. So anyways, it's just a mild steel. We've got an insert cut into here so that everything can line up the way it should. And then this big heavy chunk of steel goes in here, and it's like a pancake die. it squishes everything down really nice. The main thing to do with these is just make sure you clean them every time you use them, and make sure they're well lubricated when you're pressing your metal. Anyways, I'm going to show you how I do this. All right, well, the die worked perfect. We've got really nice dimples. These are the sides of our oil tanks, and they're gonna get welded into place. It's stretched perfectly. No kinks, bumps, or anything like that. Anybody that has done forming dies knows, especially if you're gonna kind of take it on yourself and do it, you've got to leave the space for the material to squish. If the die is 100% zero, it's just gonna rip. It's just gonna shred the metal. You're not going to get, you know, the nice roundness and so on and so forth, and the details that you're putting into it. So if you make it for 16 gauge, you've got to leave an 065. This is just what I've found used. So if I'm using it for 16 gauge is like 065 wall, and that's the space I want to leave. So when I compress, when the dies compress completely 100%, that metal is just tight to the upper and lower wall of the die, and then that's what makes a really good press and stuff like that. And it takes a little bit to get it, but I was happy to show you guys that. I like passing this stuff on to others, because people are always like, how does he do that? Like, does he spin it on a lathe? Does he do this? And it's nice to pass the knowledge down to the next generation. I did get yelled at a little bit recently because I posted a video of my exhaust rippling tool. I came up with a tool that works for rippling exhaust pipe really well, and it's relatively cheap. I'm in the pipe fitters and welders trade, so I knew that there was these things called restrictor wheels that plumbers and HVAC techs use to kind of keep down on fittings. So it would be like a slip joint for a smaller piece of pipe into a bigger piece of pipe. And I used 1144 stress proof and heat treated it and built a couple of profiles of these dies, and it ended up working mint. It's just nice to pass that on. I did get a little bit of flack from some people in the industry that are kind of, you know, they weren't happy that I shared that information, but I was happy to see people use it. I seen a video on Halerization's Instagram, and it was cool because she, you know, posted a video of her using it, and some of her friends have used it, I think, and there's a couple of people in the US that have asked me to make them little restrictor dies, and of course I'll make that stuff, you know, and it'll be, you know, tempered and stuff like that, because there is quite a bit of heat generated when you do squish the pipe together. If you're using a lathe, or maybe you're just like in her video, she just propped it up. It was really easy, good video, and she just kind of went around like you're cutting a piece of pipe with a pipe cutter. It's nice to see that stuff passed on, and people, you know, the younger generation using it. And, you know, you got to think outside the box these days. There's so many really rad builders and choppers and stuff out there. There's so many people thinking outside the box these days. It's overwhelming, some of the stuff that you do see. But anyways, it was nice to see that little video helped people. And of course you're gonna get flack. That's okay. I ended up talking to the guy, and I'm like, okay, I took the video down because it was posted a lot earlier than before. Then I posted it again, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to, you know, the nice person in me was like, you know, okay, I don't want to screw with anybody's livelihood. But then, you know, I thought to myself, you know, just, you know, that's not right either, because it's not, you know, not everybody in the world is going to make one of these and sell rippled exhaust tubing. So I went and posted it back up again a little later, and it was just nice to see people using that method for rippling exhaust pipe. It really is one of the best methods. You can make the ripples really nice and plump. There's a couple of more secrets that I haven't shared to get it even and really nice and plump and rippled. And when that stuff is chromed, it looks amazing. Anyways, I'm rambling. These guys are done. On to the next. Cheers. Hello. Next up, I'm going to TIG weld the seam of the oil tank, beat it straight, and run it through the slip roller again. Hang 10. All right, we have the shell done for the Sportster hardtail oil tank. It's all welded up, looks good, everything's TIG welded. We will do a leak check. I'm gonna do this video in 2 parts because the next thing I've got to do is machine the bungs. We're gonna put a 1/8 NPT thread in there. That's an industry standard for your oil line fittings. Anyways, the tank, that's our notch for our center tube on our hardtail kit. There's the oil tank, all done. 16 gauge steel, nice, heavy duty, stout. Smack that tank. Dimple looks good. Very predominant when this is painted. Should look pretty bold. That's our recess cut in. We bend the part up on the brake in the other shop next door. I'm gonna mount all these components to that hardtail too. That'll probably be another video after the next one. So stay tuned. The next video that's coming up will be doing all the fixing and everything, fixturing all the components to the oil tank so that it'll hold oil. We're gonna leak check it, make sure everything is airtight. And yeah, that's it. I'm glad I got this done. Thanks for watching. Remember, keep the comments respectful. I had a really disrespectful comment. Wow, just like unreal. This morning when I woke up and I read it, kind of took me back. Someone apparently didn't like the handlebars that were on the panhead, and I was an idiot and a moron and everything. It was pretty interesting. I thought it was kind of funny. But if you're that person and you see something that triggers you, like handlebars that make you fly off on a tangent like that, buddy, you got bigger issues and you need to talk to someone. And we're all here to talk to one another. You know, we're all here in the chopper culture, whether you're on the West Coast, East Coast, whatever. But yeah, keep the comments respectful. Try not to, you know, if you don't like something, that's fine. If I don't like something, I just usually don't say anything. I mean, that's just my opinion. So I'm trying to create a platform to show you what I do in here. This is how I build oil tanks. I've literally built hundreds of these for hardtails and big twin frames and so on and so forth. So again, keep it respectful. You know, if you have any questions, if anybody wants me to see me, if someone says, hey, do a frame next, we'll do a frame. Hoping to get some help in here with the YouTube and the YouTube channel and get someone recording me and so on and so forth. Right now, it's pretty tight in here because we got a lot of orders, and then more orders came in yesterday, so we got to get those done. So hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that stuff. This was fun. I'm glad I got it done, or I'm glad I got it to this point so far. Cheers, keep chopping, and take care till the next one.